Hi, this is Alicia from Behind the White Picket Fence, and today I'm going to do my January wrap-up and February TBR. I read quite a few books in January. One of them was Bachelor Unclaimed by Brenda Jackson. This one was not a good book. It focused mainly on sex. And more sex. And more sex. And, it just... The story was okay, but the fact that the main focus was sex was just... I don't expect that from Harlequins. I expect, sweet and light, stories with maybe one or two sex scenes. So, mainly... I'm usually a fan of sex in books, but not this much. And I reviewed this for Harlequin Junkie. Another book I read in January was My Cowboy Valentine. It was 2 books in one. The first one by Jane Porter and the second one by Tanya Michaels. Both of these stories were really good, but I'm not a huge fan of books that have more than one book in them, like anthologies, because I usually get really into a story and then don't want it to be over, and with anthologies, I get into the story and they're over too quickly. Another book from January was Cowboy Fur Keeps by Kathy McDavid. This was your typical Harlequin, really sweet characters and really good storyline. I reviewed this one for Harlequin Junkie as well. Volleyballs by Tara Lane was a male-male romance that I read in January as well. It was a story that started out being 2 men together and ended up being 3, as you can tell from the cover, which was a little weird because, I mean, I went into it knowing there was going to be 3 men, and when I started reading and realized that it was only 2, I got a little confused. But, the story was a little emotional. It had good points, and I gave it a, 4 out of 5, I believe. And it's part of Tara Lane's Beach Bums series? Balls series? I don't know. But it was pretty good, and I'm not the biggest fan of male-male romance. I don't know, it's just something that's a little weird for me to read, but this turned out to be pretty good, and the story wasn't very predictable at all, which was a good thing, so I gave it a fairly good rating. The next book I read in January was The Unexpected by Rory Michaels. This was a menage erotic romance that was a really short story. It was about a woman that was kind of afraid to be with a man because of the reputation of the town, and she had never been in a more than one, a multiple partners relationship before, and she wasn't really prepared for the amount of emotional connection she felt with the other man, and it was a pretty good story overall, but it was just too short for me. Another book that I read in January was Nightbread by Lynn Vale. It's her spin-off series of her Darken series. This is Lords of the Darken. The first half of this was really amazing. It had great characters and a great storyline, and then for some reason it seemed like the author wasn't too happy with the story as it was going so far, so she decided to change a bunch of stuff in it, and for some reason it just felt weird at the end. I don't know how else to describe it. Like, she felt like there was something missing and tried to add it, but that completely changed the way the story went and how it felt. And I wasn't a big fan of the ending as well, so I gave this one like 1 or 2 stars. This was a story about indigo children with supernatural abilities that live underground. This was an amazing story. I'm super excited about the second one. I believe it's called Crystal Awakening. And I really hope to get the chance to read the next book in this series. I gave this book 5 out of 5 stars, which kind of surprised me because I'm not the biggest fan of young adult either, but this book and this author's writing style was just really amazing. So if you are a young adult fan, I seriously recommend Indigo Awakening. Another book I read in January was Wild About You by Carolyn Sparks. This is book 13 of her Love at Stake series. This book is about a bear shifter and a forest guardian. These two characters are fated to hate each other and one of them to kill the other. And the main character, the female leads, aunts believe that the bear shifter is going to kill her on her 21st, 26th, I don't know, on one of her birthdays that's coming up. And so they're there to protect her while she renovates his house, but really the house belongs to his boss. And when they get together, things really heat up, and their story is so heated, so smoky, and very sweet too, but has a bit of a depth to the storyline as well, and it's probably one of my favorite paranormal romances of all time. So I fully recommend that you check out the Love at Stake series. It kind of carries on with the series, but you could read it by itself if you really wanted to. And now for my February TBR, Catherine Mann's All or Nothing. This is the second book in the Alpha Brotherhood series, and the first book I really enjoyed, so this one I should enjoy as well. Robin Carr's The Wanderer is also on my TBR for February. And this one I'm having a little bit of a hard time reading. It's kind of slow, but I'm not even 100 pages into it yet, so I'm not going to give up on it or anything. Another book on my TBR is Night Play by Sherilyn Kenyon. This is the next book in her Dark Hunter series. This is about Vane and Bride, which are kind of weird names, but I really am a huge fan of Sherilyn Kenyon's Dark Hunter series, so this one should be really good. Now, this isn't the most recent book in her series. This is just the book that I'm on at the moment. I'm also really looking forward to reading Elizabeth Naughton's Marked. This is the first book in her Eternal Guardians series. This is what people are saying mix between Sherilyn Kenyon and J.R. Ward, which are two of my huge all-time favorite authors. And so this has like Greek mythology and stuff in it, so I'm really looking forward to getting a chance to read this one this month. Thank you for watching my January wrap-up and February TBR, and I hope to see you again sometime, and stay tuned for my next video, and thank you for watching.